For most people, the 20s correspond to the period when they finish their studies, become financially independent, start working, and earn a bit of money. However, no school has ever prepared anyone on how to manage income, how to spend, save or invest, and what all the responsibilities that come with that income involve. So in this video, I'll go through the 7 mistakes to avoid from the very beginning when it comes to managing money. Let's start with the mistake number 1, which is spending too much. Most people fail to realize that in life is not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. This is not from me, but from Robert Kiyosaki, and I couldn't say it better. We all know a typical millennial or Gen Z caught up in modern consumerism, swiping the debit or credit card like there is no tomorrow. I don't blame them, or you actually. Everything has been made to ease the process. Discounts, private sales, social media and influencers telling you that you need this or that in your life. But you need to understand that things have a happiness cap. Buying a desired item leads to a temporary peak in happiness or dopamine, which eventually fades until the next purchase. If this cycle is uncontrollably repeated, it will lead to severe consequences such as financial stress or worse, debt. The best way to overcome that is by saving. And more specifically, you need to turn saving into a healthy habit. And I put stress on the word healthy. Your relationship to saving needs to be balanced and rational. Otherwise, you run the risk of making the mistake number 2, which is saving too much. I admit, in your 20s, chances are that you're not making a ton of money. Despite their low financial earnings, there are still some people that save way too aggressively. The issue here is that these people tend to forget about the importance of enjoying their youth. Instead, they should start small, especially if they are not earning a lot of money. For example, €50 a month in savings is not going to build up a huge capital base, but it still instills the right saving habits. One of the best parts about saving from a young age is that good habits compound just as much or more than the interest you earn. Now, if you're a compulsive saver who thinks that buying stuff is useless, I have an advice. Try to buy experiences rather than items. Travel more, treat yourself or treat your family or friends. Enjoy the present moment. The memories you make from a moment spent with them will last a lifetime. The mistake number 3 is not understanding the difference between spending and investing and therefore confusing them. Believe it or not, too often I hear or read, I like to invest in good quality trousers or shoes. It may seem obvious that we prefer to buy a quality item that is de facto more expensive because we want it to last. But in most cases, this leads to not fully understand the concept of investment. Because in this case, the shoes and trousers are expenses, not investments. Investing is actually another way of spending money, but it is disbursed with the goal of bringing future return in order to build financial wealth. And it's obvious that you are building no wealth with some shoes that will be thrown away in a couple months or years. So learn the difference and choose wisely. Money mistake number 4, taking important decisions without having a clear goal. Failing to plan is planning to fail, said Benjamin Franklin. And in this case, if you intend on having a big expense, such as a big travel, buying some tech gear, buying a house, or if you're planning a wedding or even to start a family, you must define your objectives and come up with a plan to finance them. And even then, it's still not enough. You need to make sure that at all times you remain within the limits you've set to yourself. Let's say you're planning some shopping during Black Friday. Fine. Make a budget and then list all the items that you can buy within that budget, and anything else, you just don't buy it. It should be simple, right? The next mistake is ignoring the importance of hidden fees. I don't know one person in his or her life that hasn't been a victim of hidden fees or so-called baby costs. Hidden fees are unexpected additional charges added on when you make a purchase, such as shipping costs, taxes, hotel fees or flight fees. From a psychological perspective, realizing that your purchase is more expensive than you saw initially is already too late. you've already mentally committed to the purchase or the experience. It is hard to pull the plug so late in the process. The same goes with what some people call baby costs. Baby costs, on the other hand, are expenses of a low amount that you consciously make. Often you may consider them as insignificant. One coffee, the drink of food paid at the cinema, a quick Uber or a scooter ride, some tips. And there is nothing wrong with enjoying a cup of coffee. The issue here is that added up, these expenses can cost you a fortune. For example, a €5 coffee a day represents more than €1,000 a year. That's a hell of a money, especially if you're on a tight student budget. Money mistake number 6 is failing to capitalize on the compound effect in every aspect of your life, your finances included. In his book, The Compound Effect, Darren Hardy describes the compound effect as the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. In other words, Rome wasn't built in a day. The key is consistency over time. And this is what younger people tend to forget. They want to reap the benefits immediately, which leads them to fall in the get-rich-quick trap. Instead, they should focus on producing compound gains in their life, simply by making the correct decisions consistently over a long period of time, which is key to achieving success in their life. Money mistake number 7 is failing to educate yourself on money. It is true that recent generations are more financially literate thanks to the resources made available online. However, people in their 20s usually stick to either the basics, which is avoid debt, have a savings account, and they rely too much on the advices of their relatives that have very low to no financial understanding. Very often, they fail to realize that the younger they start, the better off they are, thanks to the compound effect. They fail to realize that financial literacy is not about NFTs or crypto. It's about learning the basic and sometimes boring stuff, such as accounting, taxes, law, marketing, sales, and investing. They fail to realize that they don't have to master anything, and certainly not everything at once. And they also fail to realize that they don't have to pay a fortune to start their financial journey. An internet connection and some books are all they need. There is one last thing that I want to share. When I started my career in finance, I was working in a major European financial city. And like everyone, we used to talk a lot about how hard we were working and how long our days at the office were. We used to compare how much we were making, and everybody was sharing how much they got paid by their company. And there was this private joke, which was that the bus driver was actually earning more than us as a junior. Now, the issue was not whether this fun fact was true. Trust me, it was. It was the focus that we were putting on the money aspect of our job and the effect that the comparison of our earnings had on our mindset that was problematic. You see, money comparison, especially when you just started your career, shouldn't be your priority. Of course, it's good to have some knowledge about the industry standards in terms of remuneration, but focusing on comparing yourself to other peers holds you back from reaching your goals. It makes you feel resentful when you don't need to, and it makes you obsessed about money. Remember that you are comparing yourself with people who have different goals and priorities and who are only telling you or showing you the highlights of their day-to-day life. So the comparison is rigged to begin with. There is a French saying that states, comparison is not reason. And this is very much true, especially when it comes to money and personal finance. Your 20s is a golden era when it comes to personal finance. It is the foundation building phase of your financial life. You can experience things without worrying too much about the consequences, because if everything goes well, you still have 30 to 40 years, if not more, to recover before your retirement. However, it is essential that you learn and implement the right habits so that from the very beginning, you kickstart your financial journey on the right foot. First, invest on learning, which is get the right knowledge and take action by applying it. And secondly, shift your mindset from wealth preservation to wealth creation. In that regard, saving is better than spending, but investing that saving is even better.